Margaret, and I'm from Hong Kong. I moved here in '95 with my then ex-husband. We were doing import-export company on furniture. So we had an office in Hong Kong already, but I think during sourcing, we need to expand to Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, you know. And I don't know, out of all these countries, we set up a buying office, actually a sourcing office in Malaysia, without even us physically moved to Malaysia. But after 6 months settling down, I find I grew to love to live in Malaysia. And that's why even now, I mean, even with what has happened to my marriage life, you know, I could have moved back to Hong Kong very, very easily because my families, my parents, my brother, sister, they're all there. But I don't know, I just can't move back to Hong Kong now. I find I'm half Malaysian, if I can call myself. Yes. The marriage problem actually started a few years after I moved here. I think in '99, about 4 years, end of '99, beginning of year 2000. I had a very beautiful marriage. My husband at that time, he's French, and he works very hard. He takes care of the family. My kids were very young, but they were lovely, and we went on holiday all the time. So I literally didn't have to work much. I'm actually a workaholic, but because of the situation, you see, the living standard in Malaysia is a bit lower than in Hong Kong. So we were quite comfortable and quite happy with the lifestyle here, you know, because you can have like a 2 ringgit, you can have a teh tarik, you know. In Hong Kong, you can never find that, you know. So life was actually wonderful, was great, you know. But I must say that my husband, then husband, he had this womanizing character. So, well, in year 2000 and early 2000, I noticed a certain change in behavior in him. He become like his character, the way he speaks, the way he acts. He was like a 17 years old boy, you know. He could literally say in front of me that, oh, I am in love, you know, telling your own wife that you're in love. And I think it's a little bit crazy because usually when you go out to have a little affair, you would try to cover it up. And he even literally wanted to move out of our place, of the place where we are living together. And he wanted to rent even a bungalow with this woman, you know. So I thought, wow, this is ever happened. This is the first time that ever happened to him, that he would make such a big change. I consulted some of my girlfriends then, and you know, in Malaysia, usually there's bomo, right? You know, so I thought he was charmed, you know, and I consulted a few friends. I didn't actually go to see any of these so-called bomos or whatever, but I consulted through them, and I just give his name and the lady's name. It's just that, not even the date of birth, nothing. And they said, yeah, he was charmed. He was charmed in a way that he was given something to drink, something that he has eaten. And then, okay, even I heard the result. I didn't know what I need to do. At that time, all I wanted to is to save the marriage, because my 2 children were very young. I think at that time was about 5 and 7. And our business was growing, was doing very well. And I just want to save what I have achieved with him, you know. And, but you know, the bomo, they always tell you that, you need to give him something to eat. And that really repels me. I don't want to, like, he was charmed because he was giving something to eat, if that was true. And then the advice came back to me was, you have to put something in his food so that he will think about the family more. And that really stopped me. I say, I don't want to do that. I don't know why. At that time, my office staff actually knew about this case, and they all wanted to help me. And one of my office managers, she said her brother knew of a Rinpoche, and I don't even know what Rinpoche means. She said is a Tibetan Lama, and that I may need, and that this Lama is actually is very powerful, according to her, and that can help me actually to solve this problem. At that time, I said, anything that can help, you know, as long as you don't have to like the bomo type that you have to give something, you know. I don't feel like good doing that, you know. So she told me that, well, but he's not here. He's living in Singapore at that time, and I need to go, maybe even to go to Singapore to see him. I say, whatever it takes, I will go to Singapore. And within a week, she told me, oh, you're very lucky, Margaret. This Rinpoche is coming from Singapore to give a teaching in one of the students' house. I say, wow. And I was so grateful that I remember that day it was in Siri Hatamas, in one of the students' bungalows. And I went there, and this Lama, when he appeared, we were not too many. At that time was about 50, 60 people. And I was, of course, very much absorbed with my own problem. He speaks very fluent English, and he speaks with logic, and everybody was laughing. He made the Dharma teaching so lively that I literally forgot all my problems. Literally forgot all my problems. I was like, he joked with everybody, but I could see when he jokes, there is a meaning behind, because it's not it's not just a talk show. I feel that he has a meaning to deliver behind, but he delivered his message through this way, because I think at that time we are only at that level to take on the message. Because if you give very high philosophical teaching, I say, ayo, you better shut up, but he gave it so lively that it interacts with our life. That's how I got the first impression from him. And after that Dharma talk is so-called the blessing time, so we queue up. Then when it was my turn, I just briefly told him, I'm from Hong Kong. I suspected my husband was charmed, and I just like to know whether there is anything that can help to save this marriage. Very quickly, he just said, yes, it was a very authentic black magic. The source was from a female. That means literally maybe the woman went to seek a female bomo, and he told me to forgive them because they are human beings. And then they say, the charm it will take time, but the charm will break, but it will take time. And then Rinpoche gave me a protector mantra to chant. He asked me, was there a lot of electrical problems in my house at that time? And when he said this, I say, wow, it's true. Within literally a month, my maid was ironing, the iron went bust. It was actually, there was fume coming out from the wire. The kettle went bust, a vacuum cleaner, my TV, my kid was watching TV. They say, Mommy, the TV turned off by itself. It's just on and off. And my hi-fi system, and even my brand new car at that time, I couldn't start it. When I call AAM to check what was the problem, they say, your battery was dead. I say, how could that happen? It was a brand new car, 4 months old. So then Rinpoche told me to do this protector mantra a certain number of times as quickly as possible, because he said, if you don't do it, there may be a small fire in the house. Because at that time, my ex-husband still come back to the house, maybe for dinner, and then he will go off to see the lady. He say, the spirits around him is actually affecting the way he thinks, is following him. So it's electrical, because like spirit is electrical. Rinpoche advised me to do this Satra Protector mantra 100,000 times. When he told me the figure, it freaked me out. I said, what, 100,000 times? Because I don't know what the mantra was like, how long it is, And actually it's very simple. It's only Om Maha Yat Chat Sat Soha. And he just told me just to do it as quickly as possible. And I literally diligently, even when I'm sitting at home, when I'm nothing to do, I just chanted the mantra. And I remember at that time when we got married, my mom gave him a gold bracelet, and it's quite thick. So I noticed one day that he came back for dinner, he was not wearing it. Lady's instinct. I immediately knew that he had given this bracelet to this lady. I don't know why, I just had this feeling. Because he was always wearing the bracelet, the gold bracelet, with his watch since we were married. And it has never come off from him. So then I asked him, where is this? Where is this? I was quite bitchy. I say, so you gave that gold bracelet to her. I say, come on, this is my mom's wedding gift to you. of course, he gave some kind of oh no, it didn't really feel very comfortable. I took it off. It's in a safe place. I will get it back. And that's what he said. And a few days later, he really did come back with it. Then I say, I kind of lied to him. I say, oh, my girlfriend gave me a jeweler cleaner. I'm going to wash all my earrings and rings. Maybe I can wash it for you. And he literally gave it to me. So at that, of course, I'm not going to wash it in a jewel liquid. I remember at that time I was still doing this protector mantra, and I put this bracelet, which is very thick. It's about this thick, and I put it on an A4 white paper. Then I do one round of mantra. Then I blow onto this bracelet. It was about this long. Then I blow from left to right. I go like this, and when I blew like this, it goes like a snake, because when it's blue, it bends, you know. So I thought it was normal to me. So I keep chanting another round of mala, and I blow, and it moves like this. Until after the 7th round, I keep on chanting, and I blew on it, and it didn't move. And I say, oh, maybe I blew too softly. So I blew harder. It didn't move. Then I say, oh my God, something is wrong. Why did the previous 7 malas of mantra I chanted and I blew onto this golden bracelet, it moved, it like curved like a snake. I thought, okay, maybe I did something wrong. So at that time, I immediately called Rinpoche's assistant. So I asked Rinpoche's assistant, why I described to her what happened, why was it that all of a sudden the bracelet didn't move. So she said, okay, she will get back to me. So she called me back, and then she said, because when your husband, this bracelet was actually charmed. The spirit was around. So when your husband wears it, he will always think of the lady. He always think of, oh, how wonderful, how great she looks. It's affecting the way he thinks. Spirits try to influence the way he thinks. So when you blow the mantra on it, because the bracelet was charmed, so it's very light, because spirits are light. But when you blow the mantra, it dispels the spirit energy off this bracelet, and the solid gold is a solid gold. Oh, I said, yeah, it makes sense. Because normally then I try with all my other gold bracelet, I try to blow with the same type of energy. It didn't move. But why was his bracelet was moving like a snake when I blew on it before? So I say, oh, okay. And then I realized at that time the power of mantra, without really knowing how to write the mantra. But actually with faith, when you chant a mantra, it really, really works. Because at that time I say, yeah, I'm going to dispel this energy. I'm going to make him come back, make him think of the family more. That's all I did with the mantra. And it really works. I mean, physically I saw with my own eyes, And I could see my husband coming back home, going out. I could see that he was in pain. In one way, he wanted to go to see that lady. On the other hand, he missed the family very much. I literally could see he was struggling with time. He was looking at his watch. After dinner, he went off, And then subsequently, I would attended Rinpoche's teaching for 1 or 2 times. And I remember one time, also after the teaching, I went to ask him, Rinpoche, I've been doing this, then what should I do next? And it was at that time he told me that, your husband would not change. This is not his first time, and which was true, it was not his first time. He said, even after this woman, even after this charm went off, he will still have another woman. So it would be better off if you could let him go at this point in time. And I tell you, that when I heard this, it's like I'm going to start all over again. Whatever I have accomplished with him, children, family, business, everything I have done with him is like, wow, I have to drop all this behind. I'm going to start all my life again. It seems something new and very challenging to me. But I don't know, I say I feel that it's an advice, because it's true I only told my guru that he has met this woman. But he told me it's not his first time, and he will have another one. And at that moment, I say, okay, I accepted his advice, totally, 100%. And I say, okay, I'm going to let him go. It's not very easy. I'm going to let him go, because when letting him go, I'm going to take care of my own children. I'm going to do something with my own life. Because I was a housewife, But at that point in time, when I had this thought and make this decision, the struggle, the pain, the struggle stopped, because I've let go. And I talk about this now because at that time, before I let him go off really, there was so much struggling. Every night I was crying because he was going out to see the woman. And I was trying all my best to save this marriage, you know. And it was a struggle. Every day I was living in tears. Every single day. And I even saw my children, when I had dinner with my children, I say, oh, what a nice family. And it was, anything could happen. And anything could happen in the sense that nothing is permanent. And all these realizations came about, actually I could say maybe three years down the road after what this has happened. But it was a blessing in disguise in the sense that I'm not angry with him now, even though he has done quite a lot of nasty damages to me. You know, he literally cut me off financially. He literally tried to give me a lot of hard time, tried to sue me for a lot of things, you know, because I think he had a lot of anger. So even after all these hassle of fighting in courts and everything, I realize now, I mean, I can actually see him face to face without a trace of anger. And I thought, actually, when I think about Rinpoche's teaching slowly sipping in through my life, and Rinpoche was actually, it seems as if he knows the future. He said, some women, he told me, some women can stand their husband having a lot of affairs, having a few wives outside, Margaret, but you cannot. And it shows my character, I could not. So I said, if you could not, it's better to let him go because you're holding on to something that will not change. So you will be the one to suffer, not him, because he has been doing this all this while. And this doesn't really ring a bell to me before. But when he told me this, and I feel, yeah, why am I so stupid? Why am I holding on to something that I think it will last me for a whole life, you know? When I try to actually take his advice to let go, wow, I feel the burden like dropping from my body, you know? I don't have to think of ways how to save this, how to talk to him. I literally say, okay, I'm gonna start, I'm gonna close this door, I'm gonna open a new door. And the new door, and a new beginning, you know? So that relief in me has actually helped me to overcome this. As I go on with Rinpoche's teaching, as I attended his teaching more and more, I feel that I start to want to actually learn to transform, because a lot of the way that I used to hold on to, a lot of the views that I used to hold on to, actually was trapping myself. You know, my life was literally about my husband, my children, and at that time, our business. And that's it. And it's true, Rinpoche was saying that's very normal, everybody does it, you know. And as I grow older, you know, and I think this is not just about life, you know, it's not just about that. And if you think very carefully for women, especially at our age, who have had husband, business, have children, you know, they all know the children will leave them one day. They will start their own family. And maybe your husband died earlier, you never know. So, I mean, what are you going to do with your own life? Is it just that how much more money you want to make for your business, you know, and you don't take that with you, you know? I mean, everybody told me this, you don't take the money with you, but we still want to make a little bit more, right? But I mean, how much is more? When I was having my own business, every day was problem. Supply didn't deliver, late shipment, you know, all these things, you know. And I'm doing a little bit more simple job here, but I find my scope of thinking, I don't know how to express it, I think it's a change of perspective. And I feel that I thought my perspective was very much is what the society told me that this is the way, because everybody was doing this way. And now when I'm doing this, it doesn't mean that I'm like, I don't do my normal job as a mother or as a partner or as a wife, whatever. No, I still do that, but I have a bigger scope. And I find with this bigger scope, I feel I'm more fulfilled. Much, much more fulfilled. Not in terms of my own achievement, but in terms of what I can contribute back my time, my effort, my talents to something of a bigger nature, which in this sense is Rinpoche's Dharma's work. What I'm doing now is mostly on special renovation projects for Kechara organization. I mean, the Kechara House 2 that we are sitting in right now was also conceptualized and done by me and a team of people. And I think Rinpoche knew that I like to start from plain, even like painting is a plain whiteboard, or a renovation work which is all concrete, nothing, and to slowly make it into something. You know, I think he noticed that this is very a natural instinct inside me. I like to see things coming out beautifully, you know. After what I've gone through these past 10 years, and the advice I would give to my friends if they have the same situation like what I experienced before, I would tell them that, you know, you try to talk to your husband and try to settle the situation amicably. Because if I have not come into Dharma, I would tell them, fight till the end. Fight and fight, you know. And I find that fighting sometimes is a waste of energy. It's like you put fire against fire, you know. What was the outcome? Maybe two people will be damaged, you know. Of course, when people separate from their spouse, there's no love, right? Because the spouse obviously turned his love to another woman. The next thing that come about is money, how to survive. Yes, being a single mother, yes, you need money to survive. But I would also advise them that don't think that you are not capable to do what you think you are. Even though you may have been a housewife for the past 10, 20 years. It doesn't mean that you have to be a housewife for the rest of your life. You can actually start something on your own. So I think letting go of what you think you should get out of this situation and accepting it, you can call it karma, but moving on and starting a new life and be happy every day is more important than drilling on those dollar and cents, you know. Because usually when people go into a divorce, it's always about dollar and cents, you know. Well, after I have, actually Rinpoche's teachings has a lot of impact in me, and he has a lot of quotes that I cannot even put in all on one paper. But I think the one that always resonates in my head is the one he always says, never say you can't do, because that's not the real you speaking. Because a lot of the time that we always say, oh, I don't like, I can't do this. So we actually putting ourselves with constraint. So I think it's a breakthrough to me in my life that I always think I could not survive without a husband, a proper family. But I'm still alive. I'm still very happy. So I'm starting all over again. And I say, yeah, I always remember this. Never say you can't do, because that's not the real you speaking. So this is my motto for the rest of my life. So I will continue to follow this.